ceremony. But Jiva Goswami wants to make sure that we don't think like the Bengali fish, that the Lord is just another one of us who also had this string, you know. So the nurse came and brought all her surgical instruments to do the cutting. But then she looked, where's the umbilical cord? She looked, maybe there's under some cloth, or I can't see it. Then she looked at the navel of Krishna, and she couldn't find it. Then she exclaimed with amazement, I can't find any umbilical cord. In all the navels I see cords, but in Krishna's navel there is no cord. There's only a lotus design. A lotus design is there. This is explained also in the Bhagavatam. Nama Pankajanavaya, Nama Pankajamaline, Nama Pankajanetraya, Namaste Pankajangraye. I offer respects to you, who has a lotus navel, who wears a lotus garland, who has lotus eyes and lotus feet. And then Krishna, seeing the perplexity of his people, showed his feet. And there's a prayer. The devotees said, the lady said, "O Lord of Braja, you have a look, you have a conch, you have a wheel, you have a flesh, and you have lotus on your feet and on your lips." Everything about Krishna, my dear devotees, is truly amazing. It is not ordinary. And they prayed. And I want to ask you to fold your hands in prayer. O Prince of Braj,
O Prince of Braj,
O young child,
O young child,
please protect us for a long time.
Please protect us for a long time.
Give us auspiciousness.
Give us auspiciousness.
We desire to see your smiling face.
We desire to see your smiling face
at all times.
At all times.
And then they continue. We will. Thank you. The fortunate person will see you playing with the cows. You will kill the demons with your strength, and you will give special results to your devotees. And I think we hear about one of these results which Krishna gives to the devotees. When you sincerely think about Krishna's pastimes, there's a special result which is there for all of us here in the material world. Queen Kunti says this, if you hear about Krishna, oh, sorry, starting to wake up. I'm sorry, I'm a little tired, it's a long festival. Queen Kunti says this in the next verse. O Krishna, those who continuously hear, chant and repeat your transcendental activities, or take pleasure in others doing so, certainly see your lotus feet, which alone can stop the repetition of birth and death. No? So, when you engage with Krishna in any ways, if you add Krishna in any way to your life, then, my dear devotees, you will see the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. This is a special result. Brahma, Shiva, the great rishis desire this. Rupa Goswami says, who am I to desire to see you? to have love for you in my heart. It's a result which even the great saints and sages don't dare to ask for. But those who engage in these processes of bhakti, they will see this. And this will bring me to a point with which I would, so the last point, I will explain it in some detail, which is very much my own meditation on Janmastami. There is something which I need to tell you. We have to learn who a person is by knowing his desires. And I have one desire, many desires in my heart. Some are not good, some are very good, I think. There's one desire in me, in relationship to presenting Krishna consciousness like I do now on this seat. When I sit here, I have a desire in relationship to my audience, especially on, I believe we as devotees or as conditioned souls have a way of externalizing the spiritual life and avoid internalizing it. For instance, I was amazed to hear in an interview which I had a couple of days that a devotee, a very old devotee, was thinking of Krishna consciousness as a way to make a career, a spiritual career, that is to move upwards in a hierarchical sense of position, temple president, country president, world president, guru. So I was telling the devotee, you have lost your heart. It's not about this. This is secondary place. The real meaning of coming to Krishna consciousness is to connect with yourself and with Krishna. There is a self in you which is entirely spiritual and which wants to leave the limited atmosphere of the repeated cycle of birth and death. And it's about this cultivation, this inner cultivation. We have a way of externalizing spiritual things. A big subject nowadays is clothing. I very much appreciated the lecture yesterday on the Lila of Krishna. That dress in the way which is suitable for you. And when you are in the temple, try to dress in a way which is, which is sending the devotional signals. Dress in a way which cultivates a devotional, a spiritual feeling, and so on. But that's all what can be said about dress. There's no need to make a big subject about it. And when it comes to preaching, yes, it's important to say, dress properly. Prabhupada used to say, first dress, then address. And yes, there is a lot in saying that when we preach, we should see how we are perceived, so we can adopt some changes so that our perception is better. But it's not a crucial matter. But we in the spiritual movement have a tendency to externalize things. The important things is spiritual strength and spiritual cultivation, and feeling how our heart becomes free from what hurts us, that is lust and anger and greed, and how we gain love of Krishna. That is the most important subject. So I have observed also in my own life. The tendency to externalize things, you know, and, to avoid the real spiritual topics, and that's not good. That is what happens in movements as they over the time, because they become involved on the social level, how to arrange themselves together. I have this desire, however, especially on the festival day, to internalize the spiritual subject. And I want to ask you a question. Is the appearance of Krishna only a historical event which finds place in ancient literature and so on, or is it something which could happen today? I want to ask a more deeper question in this line. Is the appearance of Krishna only something which happened to the Brajavasis and the Mathuravasis? Devaki, Vasudev saw him at that time when he appeared as Vishnu to them. Is it something which happened only 5,000 plus years? Or can Krishna appear also nowadays? And then further question, could it be possible that Krishna appears in your heart? What if he could? I mean, I'm just asking theoretically, I'm not saying. What if there really is a Krishna? I mean, think about it. What if there really, if it's really true that Krishna is the holy name? I don't mean just for a philosophical lecture when we say, yes, yes, philosophy. What if all of this is true? This is a deep question which we should ask. There is a purport in Chaitanya Charitamrita where it says, when Krishna appears in the heart of the devotee, that's when the unbecoming things, lust and greed and anger, are removed, you know. Then the devotee should make a festival, and he should sing and distribute prasada. In other words, Prabhupada says, and this is not something just in the book, which has reality in the printed word. He seems to really be serious in saying Krishna can appear in the heart. And this is, by the way, the decoration there. It's not just a beautiful decoration, it's for some of you maybe a philosophical challenge. Has Krishna appeared in your heart? Are you Krishna conscious, in other words? This means, do you think of Krishna? And do you not forget him? This is something. And the question is now, what makes Krishna appear in the heart? Queen Kunti gives an answer to this question. It's these processes of bhakti which Krishna came to rejuvenate. That is hearing, remembering, worshipping, and so on. When a conditioned soul seriously takes to these processes of bhakti, then Krishna appears. My dear devotees, don't think how you will get Krishna. What not, Janmastami? You are just talking about this all the time. No, listen, I have a little idea to challenge your intelligence a few times by saying one thing and then apparently another thing. It's the same thing, but don't hope to get Krishna so easily. Get bhakti, because Krishna is very fine. He only comes when he finds bhakti in your heart. Bhakti which is rejuvenated, which comes by this revering, worshipping, etc. That should be one of the missions in this festival. Oh Janardana, there's a prayer in the Bhavishyatara Purana. Tell us the day that Devaki gave birth to you, O Vaikuntha. We will perform a festival on that day. O Keshava. Yes, we can also say, O Keshava.
O Keshava.
May you be pleased.
May you be pleased
with that festival.
With that festival.
Performed by those.
Performed by those
who are completely surrendered to you.
Who are completely surrendered to you.
On this day, I want you to develop some bhakti for Krishna. Let's make a festival. Have you ever ausgerichtet? Have you ever ausgerichtet a birthday festival? Have you ever planned a birthday festival for someone very dear? I think you must have. Maybe said, oh yeah, then people asked him to stay outside of the door, and then we have put a room and we have painted it in his favorite colors, and then we have all prepared our presents, and we have prepared a garland made of books because he likes to read, and we have just surprised him in a very nice way with our arrangement. Then we will send someone out. I do this when I'm in small circles, and then we call the person in, and then he comes in. And last time I celebrated the birthday of a very dear devotee, and I dressed like a magician. And I